come the countdown clocks not working? All right. Good evening, all. Cheeto.
Hey.
Alexander, how are you guys doing?
I'm
Hanging
good.
in there.
I think this is the first time I've ever done a show without an Aries hat on. I'm using my generic $6 Walmart hat that I picked up when I was in Florida, and I decided to go for a walk, but I didn't have it. I didn't have a hat, and I didn't have earbuds. So I bought earbuds and I bought a hat, and I took an hour and a half walk, and it was awesome. That was a week before I went on our trip. So we just got back from a cruise, which was interesting. My first cruise ever. I don't know if you guys
Awesome.
have cruised before.
No.
I was supposed to go on a cruise and then COVID hit. So
Oh, damn.
yeah, I was supposed to go on a cruise in 2021. We were planning on, me and a bunch of friends, we're going to go on a cruise, and we unfortunately had to cancel those plans and really haven't made new ones because life gets in the way.
Absolutely. Yeah, I hear you. Well, it was fun. We had a blast. I ate and drank to my heart's content with mostly no govern. I was still pretty good, but I was eating all the dessert I wanted. And I worked out every single morning for an hour. Half hour on the treadmill, half hour lifting weights. I still gained 10 pounds over 8 days. Like, thank God I was working out, man. And I was tracking my steps too. And I was putting in, 13, 14, 15, 16,000 steps a day just because,
Yeah, those ships aren't small.
Yeah. And we're out, especially on days of your excursions. Holy crap. That is just, Don't do that if you're going to be shooting anytime soon.
That's why they have gyms on board.
Uniform gets a little snug around the waistline.
Right. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. So where's Big J?
He has child obligations, and he's not willing to, drug them up to keep him quiet.
Keep on telling him, just put some Valium in the beverage of choice, and then they won't be dictating what you do. But you won't listen.
Yeah.
I'm not advocating drugging up the kids.
Little Benadryl always did.
Yeah, right? That's what I was saying, Benadryl. I'm like...
Brian says, did you see the Vic M video from, I assume he means Vic Mignogna.
Yes.
I did not see the video because I was out in the middle of the Atlantic or the middle of the Caribbean, as the case may be. So I don't know. I don't know what did Vic piss? Who did Vic piss off this time?
Essentially, he was sat on the someone's Enterprise set and basically said, "Don't be a dick." And it was aimed squarely at a certain echo chamber of people.
Vic was saying this?
Yep.
What, to his detractors?
Oh, to all in general.
Well, he certainly has a mountain of things that people are pissed off about. But
yeah, I think it was mainly regarding their actions in and around Trek fan films and whatnot.
Gotcha. Well, that's okay. I'll have to check it out. Zamir Patois, how are you, sir? It's just got, I guess you're in Europe?
Yeah, that's Zam.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. It's what happened? I mean, the only thing I've got is that supposedly Sherry Redstone rejected the offer of Skydance, which I found rather interesting, because I don't know where she's going to get a better deal, but let's see. Because there's two new players who are making bids, but we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. So that's it. What else you got?
I got nothing.
Talk about games.
Big J's not here.
Every week we gotta troll Brian with the game talk, with threats of the game talk.
Oh my goodness.
I'm trying. Because I would tell you what. Well, I'll tell you what. It was really interesting because we were supposed to go on the Star Trek cruise 2 years ago, right? And CBS banned me from the Star Trek cruise in a massive showing of dickishness.
I don't understand if you paid for your ticket and you weren't like kicked off a cruise, like kicked off an actual boat, like for disorderly conduct. How do they ban you from?
Yeah, they just told the company running the Star Trek cruise, kick him out, and so they refunded my money. Which honestly, that's not. We were set to spend $10,000 on that, and this time for 8 days we spent $3,100.
I was about to say, Star Trek cruise, you're just paying for the nuance of it, you know.
Ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now I look back and go, well, thank God they saved me that $10,000.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to go on that cruise, but it's a lot of money.
That not for $6,900 more dollars.
No.
Yeah, I know. What am I getting for that? You know.
I suppose there's
a lot of money to pay to go to a Star Trek convention.
There's an up close and personal with the guests, I guess. They can't get away from you.
And I guess for me it doesn't. I'm not starstruck and I'm not a fanboy in that regard. So
no,
I don't get caught up in the celebrity hubbub. I don't take pictures with celebrities. I take pictures with friends and stuff like that. Like if I were to meet like any of my friends on like from NerdTube or even here, or even if I came to like an Axanar convention, I feel like, like I have enough friends in the fan film community. I take pictures with you guys because you are my friends. But it's like, if I just walk up to a celebrity, like the first person popped in my head, I don't know if he'd be like this, but like Ethan Peck. Like if I just saw him, my first inkling would not be like to get a picture with him. Mine would just be, mine would be like, I love your portrayal of Spock. Like I wouldn't even ask for a picture. I would just be like, not even a signature. I'd just be like, I love your portrayal of Spock. I think you are really nailing the Leonard Nimoy Spock on the head. Like whether that's, that's not everybody's opinion, but
and I'm with you. I love Ethan Peck. Same thing. If I saw him, I'd say, hey, listen, I saw, when I was introduced to Carl Urban at a party a few years ago, this is probably 2016. 2017, we were at one of our buddies had this gallery right there by the Grauman's Chinese Theater, and Carl Urban and Katie Sackhoff were there, and he introduced me. I knew Katie already from the Battlestar Galactica auctions, but Carl Urban, I said, man, love your portrayal of McCoy. Just
that's honestly what I like out of everything Carl Urban's done. Lord of the Rings, the Bourne movie, the one Bourne movie he was in. The Boys, all that. I think his portrayal of Bones is like hands down best out of like all of those.
Yeah.
The first second you saw him on screen, and the first second you heard him, you knew, oh yeah, that's Bones. You didn't even have to wait for him to say, say I'm McCoy.
Yeah.
No, you just knew straight away.
No, it was great. It was great.
I thought I'd nerd out when I saw some Trek alumni, but actually I find myself okay. I mean, I was sitting in DragonCon having a bite to eat, and someone sits next to me and starts eating a sandwich, and I look, and it's Christopher Lloyd. He's just sat right next to me. I started munching down on a sandwich. I'm like,
Did you please tell me you didn't say "Great Scott"? When you looked up
No.
and saw him.
nope. I saw him. I thought Great Scott in my head. I went, yeah, no, I'm just gonna leave him alone. He's just a human trying to have some lunch. And the unwritten rule of conventions is you do not bother the talent
When they're not,
when they're not behind a desk or
on a stage.
on a stage. You just leave them be. And because
Yep.
because of that unwritten rule, I didn't introduce myself to Robin Williams when we brushed past him at Heathrow Airport on the way to that convention. I wish I had now. But me and my friend, we both looked at him, and he was big, bushy beard, bushy hair, and he was wearing sweats and a baseball cap. He was obviously trying to be low down and just get to where he wanted to go. But you couldn't mistake that nose. Absolutely could not mistake that nose. And we both started standing there looking at him for a second, saying, should we say something? My friend was like, well, maybe. And then we both went, well, but look at him. He's just trying to get to where he's going. Let's just leave him and let him be human. And then a couple of years later, he's no longer with us. So we kind of regret it, but we also we did the right thing.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Question: what about his portrayal of Caesar on Xena? Are we talking about Carl Urban? I don't remember who was Caesar on Xena. I didn't watch too much Xena, Warrior Princess.
I never watched anything of Xena.
I mean, because we all knew it was going to be woke, even though woke didn't come to be until like decades later.
No, it's just there's never been a steady stream of it here. It's just not something that took off here in the UK.
Mm.
What is that? Xena didn't take off?
Xena, yeah, it's just if you have Sky Television, you'd get it, but I don't pay for
discount Wonder Woman. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't pay for to watch adverts, so.
Yeah, you're talking about Robin Williams.
Yes,
I was talking with someone had posted Dick Van Dyke getting a Daytime Emmy Award at the age of 95.
Well done to him. Yeah, he's
which was and
he's old.
And one of my friends said, was like GOAT. I was like, yeah, Dick Van Dyke is, and I was like, yeah, who's in his category? Like, and I was like, the only one I thought of is Robin Williams. I thought of some, when you think of Dick Van Dyke, it's not just acting, it's singing and dancing, and the guy's got it. He had a successful TV series. Legendary roles, Mary Poppins, and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and you're just legendary stuff. And I was like, who's in his category? And the only one I could come up with was Robin Williams, because Robin Williams had this amazing comedic career, but he also had this amazing acting career that was not necessarily comedic. I mean, he had had the Mrs. Doubtfires, but he also he amazing roles in Good Will Hunting, and what's the one where he's the teacher at the school?
The teacher in the school. You're talking about Dead Poet Society? Yeah,
Dead Poet Society, right? So Robin Williams had amazing range.
Oh yeah, he was
and multiple.
He was also the villain in a couple of films as well.
Oh yeah, I mean,
one
film where he was a serial killer. He was just insane.
Like, wow.
Yeah, so I was trying to think about it, and Paul says Andy Griffith or Jim Nabors. I don't think either of those guys.
I've never heard of either of them.
Well, Andy Griffith, of course you.
Yeah, everybody's heard. Well, everybody in the U.S. has heard of Andy Griffith.
Andy Griffith.
Okay, the U.S. isn't the world.
He was an actor, right? And I don't. And Andy, great, we love him, amazing, American legend. But was he Robin Williams / Dick Van Dyke good? No, there's no way. He is a very kind of single note actor. Jim Nabors, he could sing great, but it's not like he had a great singing career and a great acting career. I would argue on both of those. So yeah. So anyway, if anyone comes up with any thoughts on that,
I mean, I've always said that Robin Williams is one of my favorite actors of all time because because growing up I had ADHD and so I was a very hyper kid, and Robin Williams portrays himself as a hyper guy in a lot of his stuff. So it's it was, and I've told the story on here before, I think, but I always felt like I saw myself in him because he was funny and people loved him, but he was super hyper and he talked really fast. And, so that I always looked up to Robin Williams. He was one of my, I was gutted so hard when I heard he died and the way he died. And it honestly made me look a lot into the depression that he had and the, illness that he had.
Yeah.
And, and that's where I became a huge advocate for, suicide hotlines and stuff like that, because, you can't, it's okay to not be okay. You know what I mean? But you gotta get the help.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Brian Lambert says Tom Hanks. Listen, I love Tom Hanks. Love him. He's in so many things that I love. Apollo 13, Saving Private Ryan.
Never go traveling with him.
Right? But is he an entertainer? He's an actor. He's a great actor.
I would say he was entertaining at some points in his career, but I get, I agree. It got to a point where he became this stoic actor.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I'm putting Tom Hanks, I'm comparing him to Al Pacino. Totally different acting careers, but great actor, right? Tom Hanks, really versatile, can do so much in acting. Again, I don't see the crossover potential that those other two had, but I just saw Saving Private Ryan again. Just great.
It's a good film.
He's great.
He's good at everything he does, and he does come a very close third, I'd say, to the other two.
I love him as an actor. He's great.
So something we can come back to, but let's talk about what about our Mount Rushmore of actors? Robin Williams would be.
By the way, let's answer this first because before it just.
Oh yeah.
Was that about
Star Trek?
I missed this news. So Paul Giamatti is going to be roughly. Okay, well, great. I mean, love Paul Giamatti. He's just fucking brilliant. So
it makes me wonder though about a villain in Starfleet Academy. What do they mean? Is he going to be a
recurring?
Or is he going to be what's her face from Harry Potter? What's the lady that was only wearing pink?
Let me tell you this. Paul Giamatti.
Dolores, what's her face?
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti has always wanted to be a Klingon. I'm just going to put that out there. He was interviewed, talked about it, wanted to be a Klingon, wanted to be in Star Trek, so he's in Star Trek.
I would love to see the Klingons in the 32nd century. I would love it because we haven't even touched on them yet.
Yeah,
I think they've been intentionally just steering clear of the Klingons. After
for Disco,
after the controversy of the first two seasons, first season really.
Zamir says, I've been watching Giamatti and Billions up until the time I saw Ted Lasso. Billions was my all-time favorite TV show. It is now second, but it's brilliant. Billions is a phenomenal TV show, just absolutely phenomenal, and Paul Giamatti is brilliant. So there's another, Taylor Mason. I know, amazing, really amazing, and really realistically was the first to bring non-binary to a TV role, a major recurring TV role, right? So there you go. Ted Lasso is just it is freaking GOAT for sure. Zamir, yes, it was a shame it was only 3 seasons. It was, and it is great. I have a funny story. We were talking about that because the the mother of my godson. We went on a cruise with my two godsons, their mom, who's one of my best friends, and her partner. And her partner, Rhodey, loves Ted Lasso too. So we were telling our Ted Lasso stories and what we liked. And I told her, I said, and I forgot where I was. I think maybe I was walking outside. I forget, because I didn't have earbuds in. So I was listening. I was watching my phone, and I was watching a video, and it was the best of Roy Kent. Now, if you're a Ted Lasso fan, you immediately know what that is going to be about, because he cusses all the time, and it's hysterical. So I'm watching this, and it's hysterical. And all of a sudden, I think it was like I got to a stoplight or something, and I looked. I think we were at the beach or something. Maybe when I was walking down by the beach, and there's a family next to me. I was like, oh shit! And I couldn't shut my phone off fast enough, because Roy Kent is just, very, very prolific in his cussing.
We do not condone using your mobile phone while driving.
Using what?
Using your mobile phone / cell phone while driving. So
I was walking.
Just putting the.
This is while I was walking.
Oh well, that's fine then. That's good,
Yeah.
because you have been known to.
I have
do stuff with while you're driving.
Academy had nothing to do with Skydance, and I think the Skydance Academy is going through one way or another.
I mean, why would they announce Paul Giamatti if they're going to can it?
Yeah, they're not going to can it.
No, I mean, I think honestly, the reason why they haven't announced any other Star Trek shows, whether it be Legacy, whether it be something else, is because of the sale. But the things that they already had in the pipeline that had already started production, like Academy and I almost said Area 51, Section 31, like those things are gonna go through, just because they were so far along in the production process. They at least had to do one season. Like they would have been a big waste of money if they didn't. So,
listen, I've said it before and I'll say it again. And if it's up to me, I would have canceled. Starfleet Academy as soon as the upswell for Legacy happened. I mean, that should have been the signal right there. Wow, that's the direction we need to go.
I disagree with you. I think a Starfleet Academy show is good. I mean, we've lost 3 shows. Like, we've lost Discovery, we're going to lose Lower Decks, and we lost Picard. So there's room for a Legacy show and for a Starfleet Academy show. I'm sorry, I want a Starfleet Academy show. I don't necessarily want it to be in the 32nd century. I would like for it to be more in Picard time, but I have always wanted a Starfleet Academy show. Ever since the 90s, I've wanted it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they talked about it was something Harv Bennett really wanted to do. I just in the prioritization of what Star Trek is, I think a Star Trek Legacy would have just been gangbusters. Starfleet Academy, we'll see. Is it another Discovery? I mean,
they should really flip the format, because Discovery obviously didn't resonate with people, so they need to really flip the format and really do something that different, but keeping it still in the same vein of Star Trek. That's my opinion. As I said, if I was producing that show, I would try to lean more into what works for Star Trek, especially nowadays, now that Star Trek's been back for a couple years and they can see what works. Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks, those kind of things that have really shined through. And even, I know people hate Disco, but Disco got better as the seasons went along, in my opinion. So even some of those little things that they learned from their mistakes and fixed it, that's what I would lean into with Starfleet Academy.
We'll see. I hope it's successful. That's all. As with all things Star Trek, I wish them the best.
I mean, it's going to be interesting just to see what they're doing with it. So I'm not casting doubt on it just yet. I mean, hopefully it's not Beverly Hills 90210 in space.
And that's what I don't
'cause-
want. I don't
Yeah,
want it
that's
to be
not-
like
but-
what Brian, not what Brian, but who said that just a second ago? Brian Lambert said, he said Academy smacks of Star Trek meets Riverdale. I don't want that. Like, I don't want it to be Star Trek meets Riverdale. I want it to be a true blue Starfleet Academy where you go through the academy and we don't need all the drama. Like, yes, human beings breed drama. They really do. But like, it doesn't need to be like teeny bopper drama. You know
No.
what I mean? Like,
And at this time, we have no details about it whatsoever, apart from a few people that have been cast. So it can't smack of anything at this point. If you're
Yeah.
saying it's smacking of something, then that's prejudging at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open. Let's see what happens.
I'm interested to see what they do. We'll find out.
Exactly.
But Paul Giamatti as the head bad guy. That'll be interesting.
well, what I was saying earlier is it made me wonder if he's going to be like an actual bad guy or if he's going to be like is it Umbridge from Harry Potter?
Professor Umbridge. That's a Dolores.
Yeah, Professor
Umbridge.
Umbridge. Like, she's actually like a
Yes.
faculty member, but she's just like the worst. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly. Just someone who hides behind the rule book and
Mhm.
Beats you over the head with it at every possible opportunity. I think he could do that kind of role quite nicely.
yeah, because I don't want a main villain. Like, I would love to have just like a situation of the week. But do we want it? See, but here's the thing though, is one thing that we were talking about before, is do we want it to be Starfleet Academy like your clinicals, like when you're out on a ship on tour, or do you want it to be like at Federation headquarters where Starfleet Academy is?
Or
You
maybe
know,
a bit
we
of
were
both.
talking about that a couple weeks ago. Is what format do we want? Do we want it to be local to the Federation HQ, or do we want it like do they have like a training ship? You know, like in the one episode of DS9 where all those cadets were on a Defiant, which still makes
Indeed.
no sense, but it's still a good episode in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a good episode. Yeah, but no, it's interesting. And someone I can't remember who it was suggested that's why they introduced the ISS Enterprise.
Which I really hope not. That's stupid.
And on reflection, yeah, that's an ancient piece of technology to be training on. But if you're short on ships, then you take what you can get. I mean, look, not putting any spoilers out there, but look at the fleet scene in the last episode of Discovery. It was mostly shuttles. I mean,
Well, but there were a lot of Star because I would say what Starfleet seemed like in the past 2 seasons of Discovery prior to the season 5, it seemed like Starfleet only had like 24 ships, maybe. Like,
if that, yeah.
Yeah, like they seemed like they were spread pretty thin. So I could see them trying to put the ISS Enterprise and reusing the Strange New World set yet again, you know, to do that.
Yep. I mean, it would make, from a set point of view, it would make a lot of sense because then
I just don't want it.
You've already got the sets.
No, it
Let's
would be
go
fun
for
if
it.
there was like a hijinks episode where they steal the Enterprise, because there's always an episode where they steal the Enterprise. There's movies and episodes, you know, like
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, well, I think there's only one way to find out.
What's that?
Wait and see.
Oh my god!
Still can't get over that one. There was that one picture of the upcoming Section 31 movie or short series. We're still not exactly sure what we're getting, and just one picture, and there's one, and people started saying, "Oh, that looks like it's written like crap." I'm like, you get that
From an
from one
image?
picture, from an image. Get a grip.
And every single human in the show is going to be American, Zam. I saw your comment from up above, so every every human will be American. Sorry about your luck, bud.
It's always the same.
Like, I'd rather them be Scottish too. I mean, the Londoners just didn't make it. They didn't make it to the 32nd century.
Yeah.
No more Londoners.
I saw someone critique one of the Star Trek Intrepid fan films. So it's a bunch of people who are up north of me in Dundee who make some pretty good fan films. And someone in the comments says, "What?"
That's Nick Cook.
Nick Cook.
Yeah, I think we've reviewed a couple of those on our channel.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember what the channel was called. It's not Neutral Zone. It's what is the name?
Yeah. I can't remember. But one of the comments in was, "Why is everybody Scottish?"
Because they're still in Scotland.
That's unrealistic. But
well, for a fan film, you
everybody's
kind of
got an
take what you
American
can get.
Yeah, everybody's got an American accent in proper Star Trek. So shut the fuck up.
Productions.
We don't have accents. We're American.
Yeah,
right.
indeed.
There's no American accent. What are you talking about?
You looked at the guy's profile and he was an American. So it's like, yeah, that only an American would say, "Why has everybody got a Scottish accent in a Scottish fan film?"
Well, that
I was about to say, like,
when I first started Intrepid like 10 years ago or so, I love the fact that they all had Scottish accents. I thought that was hysterical. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, we had fell in love with a fan called Squadron, and I think they were all.
I love Squadron.
Yeah, I love Squadron. It made me fall in love with the Norway class. I really did.
They did an amazing job. We did a lot.
I love their
sets
sets
came
too.
out. We did a lot of. We played that trailer all the time. Matter of fact, I still think I have. Let's see. I still think I have.
Yeah, that was one of the beginning fan films that we reacted to years ago that just really blew us away. Yes, this was before we saw Axanar and Avalon and all the like that. We were still kind of in the baby stage of Star Trek fan films before we met Vance and Josh and you guys and all that. So, but I mean, they were the first like real Star Trek fan film that just blew us away, where we were like, how is this possible? We hadn't really touched on Axanar yet, but still.
Let me see. We've got. I know.
I think the Vorta in that one is so good. Oh.
What's that?
The Vorta in that one is so
she's
good.
Great. She's great. Yeah, let's
not a lick of English in there, but you know what?
The fact that they've got full on Gemma Dar makeup as well is just wow, and it's done really well as well. It's that production blew my mind.
Steve Ross's question: wouldn't some of Glasgow need subtitles for the Americans to understand?
Some of Glasgow needs subtitles for the rest of Scotland to understand.
Right.
Here we go.
They get a bit nasally.
Let me. I'll play since we're talking about Squadron. Let me play the. Let me play the trailer for everyone. Since it's short.
If you have not seen Squadron, go watch it. It is a fantastic film. It's in 2 parts. There's probably a back when we looked at it, there were 2 parts, but I think they probably got one. Yeah, I say they probably got a 1-parter, like a full part thing.
You will command the whole squadron, and Minneapolis is going to be your flagship. Rear Admiral Nansen.
Our task is to take over the patrol in the sector and stabilize.
This is dubbed. I love the Norway. I'm sorry.
When a chieftain is fighting in his own territory, it is dispersive ground. Ground on which we can only be saved from destruction by fighting without delay is desperate ground. On desperate ground, fight.
And it's out. So go look it up.
Yep.
It's fantastic. It's really one of the best.
I want to add on, please watch it in its original language. If there is a dub out there, don't watch it in the dub. Watch it yes, you will have to read subtitles, but like the trailer did make the dub seem like it was a little but like no, the original, like when you can hear them like talk even in their language in Czech, and like like it's so good. Like you're reading subtitles, but they make it all so believable. It is a great fan film in its original format.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. It's definitely worth it. It's in my top 5 as far as Star Trek fan films go, for sure. And so we'll see. When is Jonathan Lane doing his fan film awards? Does anyone know?
It's already closed. I know. I saw that the nominations has already closed.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know exactly when the actual awards is happening. Is it in July or at the beginning of July? 2039. Okay. Zam says 2039.
It'll be when he's finished putting his pool in.
We just had Jonathan Lane on our channel. We did a fan film reaction and an interview with him for an absent friend that he just did, which was really good. Have you guys seen that one?
No, I've not.
Oh, it's an animated fan film.
Oh, the animated one. Yeah, I've seen the animated. Yeah, it's very good. I told him it was very good, and it was very, it was a great idea. I mean, I thought the concept was just really sharp.
When my thing with it was like it's a great slice of life fan film. Like it's one of those things that it's like you didn't really know you needed until like you were watching it, and then you were like, wow, I really needed to see this conversation. You know what I mean? Like between Bones and Spock. So yeah. Everyone, we are doing a GoFundMe campaign. I'm putting the link in there in the comment section for our animal rescue. And so if you can all go and donate $5, it'd be greatly appreciated. Whatever, but we are, as a matter of fact, on this, I literally just accepted 3 kittens into our rescue while we were doing this live stream. Someone messaged me. So yeah, if you guys can share the link to the GoFundMe, and if you got a couple shekels you can throw our way, it would be greatly appreciated. But certainly share it. Nothing else, I would greatly appreciate it. Brian Lambert says, what role do you think AI is going to play in fan films in the future? I think as AI gets easier and easier to do, I think you're going to see more and more of it.
Just like CGI.
Yeah, I'm amazed at the stuff that AI can do. I really already it's crazy. So yeah, I think we'll see. As the motion picture portion of AI gets going, I think we'll see more and more. So
I saw something the other day. It's a robot powered by AI, and the guy has it behind a counter, and there's like a couple of dishes and a dish rack, and there's an apple on there and everything. And the guy says, "What do you see in front of you?" And you hear the robot. He regards what's in front of it, and tells them. I see an apple on a plate, and I see a rack with dishes in it. And then he just says, "Can I have something to eat?" And you just watch the robot look down, grab the apple, and give it to him. He didn't ask for the apple. He said, "Can I have something to eat?" Gives him the apple, and then it's the delivery of the lines as well. It stutters. Because later on he asks, "How did you think you did with the task?" And he went, I think." He stuttered like that. He didn't just robotically deliver a line. He stuttered like a human, and I'm like, oh my god, we're getting very close, very close. They just can't make him look realistic yet.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys, I gotta step out, so I'm gonna let you two guys take this home.
Yay, games!
Yeah. Talk about whatever you want.
Or just a whole nother discussion about Discovery Season 5 just for Brian Simpson.
There you
Absolutely. Yeah, there you go. Recap on Discovery.
You guys have fun. I think we're doing a live stream about our animal rescue tomorrow, maybe. But what does Brian say? Are you guys ignoring the chat in favor of another stream? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Another stream.
I don't know either.
I mean, you think we're watching another stream? No, I try not to. I got my hands full. Besides, there's so many other streams are just so painful to watch sometimes. But all right, I'm out. I'm gonna close out of here. You guys take care, and I'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
Cheers.
Bye. All right, so let's start. Discovery, Season 1, Episode 1. Let's go.
Yeah. Actually, no. I don't have it. Actually, let's. Can
well,
you name?
I was looking at the question from Brian. Said, has anyone noticed that Chong and Nava from Strange New Worlds are aging out quick? Who are they? Chong and Nava.
Christina Chong. She's the security officer on Enterprise.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
Nava.
Is that
remember.
the actress who plays Uhura?
Possibly. I mean, I'm not that superficial, so I wouldn't say that they're aging out quick, but to each their own.
I don't know what that means by aging out. Like I thought they were supposed to be
getting too old.
Well, that's what I meant. Like, but I thought he might have been talking about kids on the show. But then I'm like, wait a minute. Like, you're right. Chong is, Christina Chong is soon, right?
So yeah, that's it. That's her name.
Yeah. So no, I don't. Man, I'll tell you what. I really hated the idea of having Soon on the Enterprise. You know, and I don't like the idea of having a Soon on the Enterprise just because of the canon breaking that it's doing. But I really like her on the show. Like whether she's a Soon or not, like I like her.
She's not
so
bad.
They're making me like her, and that's the problem. Is that so? I'm like, oh, I like her being here, but it's really breaking like this canon that and I'm not a canon commando. I try not to. I try not to like let canon disrupt good storytelling. So she's a Brit too. Well, I think she's great.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with her. I must admit, when it was first revealed that she's a Soong, I'm like, you could have heard the clack as my eyes rolled into the back of my head.
You heard the collective fan. You heard the collective fandom going, "Ah!"
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing I really don't like about Strange New Worlds. I must admit.
I wish they would have just made her some other character, any other character. Like she could be a totally original character. It did not have to be. It did not have to be a new person or anything like that. It could have just not a recast character. It could have just been a brand new security officer that we never heard about before. Who was security technically on the Enterprise? Was it Chekhov or was it? I don't know if they actually had like a security specific person in TOS, right?
Say again?
I don't think they had a specific security officer on TOS.
No,
like Chekhov. I know Chekhov had
those
something
like
he was more operations.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't think they actually had a head of security in TOS. No, I mean
that's probably because Roddenberry thought everything was flowers and rainbows.
I mean, you had security, the famous red shirts, who would expire.
We call them security. The only thing they secured was the fact that the main characters wouldn't die, and they would.
Right, we need to go. Yeah, we need to go down to a planet. Right, Kirk, Bones, Ensign Ricky. Ensign Ricky's not coming back.
He is expendable.
Yeah, exactly. I think someone I'm sure I read somewhere someone actually did a count, actually went through all 3 seasons and counted who died, and apparently more gold shirts died than red shirts.
No, I've actually looked on that. So what they say is that the for every person that went on an away team, the percentage of gold shirts was higher than red and blue. But because the percentage of gold shirts that died on a away mission that wasn't a main character was 53%. But there was only 5 or 6 gold shirts that went down that weren't main cast members. Now, if you look at the red shirts, 50 some red shirts went down, and 8 or 10 or 20 of them died. So the percentage was technically lower of how many red shirts or how many people died per shirt color.
Gotcha.
I've seen it, and you know what? I'll bring it up so we because we had this whole discussion one time on one of my podcasts, the Highly Illogical podcast, about the red shirts and everything like that. And we actually looked it up, and yes, the percentage of gold shirts that died is higher based on how many have gone on away missions. But there were far more red shirts that went on away missions and died than gold or blue.
I'm guessing that's where I got it from. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've heard that too, because I thought the exact same thing. And then I did my research, lo and behold, when you actually do your research, you find things out. I've come to find.
I see so many memes about Pike's hair. Yeah, I will agree. I think the best meme I've seen about Pike's hair is basically it's Pike's face on the Johnny Bravo cartoon.
I know, right? Listen, that is I love that Johnny Bravo is one of my favorites, and when I saw the Pike thing, I was like, oh man, that's a whole pretty mama. That's a great.
Oh, there you go. There he is.
That's a great meme.
I never really got Johnny Bravo.
The thing was with him is that he was more like Pepe Le Pew, but the thing was he's like Master Roshi from Dragon Ball. He was kind of not pervish, but he was very woman centric. But he would always pay for it, where Pepe Le Pew wouldn't always pay for it. The woman would do the cat who was supposed to be chased after by Pepe Le Pew would just kind of have to take it. Whereas in Johnny Bravo, Johnny Bravo always got his comeuppance. He always got smacked or flipped or something fell on him So that's what I always appreciate about Johnny Bravo. They were like, haha, he's funny. He's a chauvinist. Oh, but look, this is what happens when you're a chauvinist, by the way. Things don't go your way. I'm still trying to find this thing really quick. But anyway, I don't know. I loved cartoons, though. Those were great back in the day.
When cartoons could be cartoons and not messages.
I mean, let's be real. They were messages. How to have a good time.
Just looking through the comments.
Oh, man. Come on. Where's it at? Oh, here we go. I found it.
Oh, you found it?
I did. I found it. I'm going to share it. Okay. All right. Present.
Yeah, I don't think many people understand the 3D stroke 4D chess. I don't. It's supposed to look advanced, and I think you could get a copy of it. I think they did a run. Was it Master of Replicas? I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But yeah, I don't think there was really any hard and fast way to play it. Oh, okay. Let's have a.
So that's
go.
So as you can see, so excluding main characters. I know it's hard to see. I'm sorry, I can't really zoom in, or maybe I can. But is that zooming in? Okay. So in the original series, 10 gold shirts beamed down on away missions and 5 died. So that means 50% of gold shirts died. So then using the same criteria, 13 blue shirts beamed down to any away mission, 5 die. That's only 38%. Now, using the same criteria, 65 red shirts beam down on away missions, 15 die. So that's 23%. So technically, red is the safest color based on that metric.
Yeah.
So
It's still me. Yeah.
So that's
still,
what you're hearing, though, was that technically a percentage-wise, more gold shirts died.
Yeah, when you look at statistics, there's they can lie if you really want to make them lie, you can make them lie. Right. So yeah, and yeah, I think that's where I got that from. I saw that a wee while ago now. One of those random things that you see on Facebook. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
Yep.
And it's one of those things that it's a very annoying thing that Facebook does. You're reading through it or looking at it, and then Facebook does updates itself, and you lose what you were reading, and you cannot find it again for love nor money.
I think there's a way to go into your watch history. I think there's somewhere on Facebook where you can go in and like what you clicked on and stuff like that. So
I'll have to go and find that, because
I think it's buried though. Like I don't think they want people to really look at that too much, but I've been able to find my way in there before when I lost something and I wanted it. I'm like, no, I wanted to share that and I lost it. So I'll like dig like through the hordes of data in my Facebook, and there is something in there that lets you see things that you've either liked or clicked on or shared, stuff like that.
Oh, there's something fun. Have you seen The Acolyte yet?
I have, yes. I've seen all 3 episodes so far.
I've seen episodes 1 and 2, but I have to wait for tomorrow when my friend comes round so we can watch episode 3 together.
If you want to, without spoilers from episode 3, if you want to talk about it, we can.
Just general. I see so much hate being directed to it at the moment. Mm-hmm. The usual woke.
Yeah.
I'm going to say bollocks because that's what it is. I don't actually mind so far. For the first 2 episodes, what I've seen so far, it's a bit slow, but otherwise, I don't see any message being forced at this point.
Oh, the woke warriors, or not the anti-woke warriors, or the anti-woke antagonists. I don't know. We should coin a name for them. The neckbeards. I mean, that name always works. The neckbeards. No, I mean they're calling it woke because the director said that this is the gayest Star Wars, and there is something in episode 3 that hints, not even shows, hints at some kind of same-sex thing, but it's not even like out there. It's not like you see embrace between any 2 characters. It is a sentence, and it honestly could be taken many different ways, but what they're going on about is just it's the same thing with like Star Trek nowadays. Like we can tie this into Star Trek, but I was actually on Facebook, I was talking like I can't, like, Star Wars fandom is so toxic. And look, I'm Star Trek fandom is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I know that Star Trek is not perfect, but Star Wars fandom is the worst because they are just they hate to hate. I mean, how many times have we heard about people having to leave Twitter and delete their Facebooks and all of these things from doing a Star Wars project because they got hate? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, they drove the guy who did Jar Jar to the brink of suicide.
Yeah. I mean, and I didn't even I didn't love Jar Jar, but I didn't hate him. Like, I'm like, whatever. I mean, and it's not like he was there for the entire trilogy.
Yeah, he was there for the kids at the end of the day. And the kids love him. But no, you're quite right. It's like I saw the hate for the first sequel, Force Awakens. Oh, it's too much like A New Hope. So they go and make the next one. Oh, that's too different.
Jedi. Yeah.
That's
too
different.
Star Wars.
It's so damned if you do, damned if you don't in the Star Wars universe.
Oh yeah. That's why I say that Star Wars fandom is the worst. Like there are a lot of things I love and hate about Star Wars, but one of the things I hate is the fandom in Star Wars. Like they are and I hate saying they because I am a Star Wars fan. I like parts of Star Wars, like so I am in this like this pool that we're all peeing in. You know what I mean? Like, but
yeah, no, I get you. There's at a local convention here. See you've got the 501st in America. We've got a contingent of the 501st here in the UK as well. UKG, UK Garrison of the 501st, right? And generally they can be nice guys, but they can also be incredibly dickish, especially if you're in a Star Trek costume of any kind. They act smug and superior. At a convention that I was attending with my group, we run a little Star Trek group. We basically put a table up with some props and everything, visual interest for people to come and have a look and talk. But we also wear costumes, so we needed a changing room. So we were told go to changing room, blah blah blah. So off we went. But the Star Wars fans had taken over it completely. They had just completely taken it for themselves. So we get there and someone goes that no, the wrong franchise, and I just went, yep, no, I'm looking for the better one.
Yeah.
Zing.
Yep. Drab says a comment. Well, The Force Awakens was deliberately a rehash, as it was accordingly a ton of bad world building choices that painted them in the narrative corners. Anti-woke whining through, though, whatever. See, The Force Awakens came out in 2015 and woke wasn't even a thing. So how can you you are retroactively making it woke? Like what? No, you can't do that. You can't retroactively make like if something's going to be woke, it's going to be deliberate. You know what I mean? And like and 9 times out of 10, they're just trying to get representation. They're not saying, "Hey, I'm being woke to be woke." No, they're doing it for representation. So I mean,
woke, I would say, is like what they did in the new Doctor Who, in one of the 60th anniversary specials, where you actually hear a non-binary actor playing a non-binary character saying something like, "Oh, this is something that a male presenting Doctor Who would not know anything about." So that's immediately hate on male, or on the male Doctor, and then the whole plot of that episode was because they're non-binary, they can save the world. That's woke, making it all about that instead of just having a non-binary character being involved in something. No, it all has to revolve around them.
Well, have you seen X-Men 97?
Potentially woke. No.
Okay. In X-Men 97, there's a non-binary character named Morph. And I mean, I'm not revealing any spoilers or anything for anyone who hasn't seen it, but that, everybody was screaming woke, woke, woke about Morph, but he wasn't. He was just existing in the X-Men universe on a team, but he just happened to be non-binary. That's not woke. You know what I mean? Like, but everybody was screaming woke before it happened. Drab also says the biggot's whining about a female or a black character, though. They were still doing that even without the word. I mean, and this is true. They do.
Yeah, this is very, very true. Very, very true. You'll always get them. But I personally don't give a damn as long as the character is written properly.
I want it good. I want something good. That's what I want.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's the Charlie's Heroes? No. What's that film that was all female production? Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, Charlie's Angels.
Absolute dumpster fire of a film. Right, and their go-to was, it's just the males hating on female leads. No, we've had plenty films with female leads which have done really well because they were written properly.
Well, and I mean that's kind of where they get with the Acolytes is like the Acolytes is underperforming creatively as some people are pointing out, and they're using that as like ammunition against, a black female lead, or a female director, whatever, you know what I mean, like, or a female writer. So it's just sad.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I decided I'm going to watch it because I'm interested in the Star Wars universe. Let's see.
Well, and the one thing I will say about it. Oh, go ahead.
No, you.
I was going to say, the one thing that I am liking about it is that the fact that it's outside the Skywalker saga. I don't ever want to go back to the Skywalker saga. I want it to be
we're gonna get
done. No, but that Acolytes is not. You know what I mean?
No. The next 3 films.
But they're not.
Although
they're
she's
not
not
supposed
really
to be.
she's not really a Skywalker, is she? She just used.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
name
she's technically Rey Skywalker, but it's not. It's what they've said. It's going to be moving on from the Skywalker saga. Like, the Skywalker saga ended with Episode 9. I'm very happy about that. I don't mind them moving on with Rey, because I never had a huge problem with Rey. Yes, she seemed like a Mary Sue a little bit, but so did frickin' Luke. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing that I'll always defend, right? The Force Awakens. Oh, how come she was suddenly Force aware and everything? When, hello, did you not read the title of the film, The Force Awakens? He delves into her mind with using the Force, and that it's a catalyst. Something clicks. And
it's not like she was particularly good at wielding it.
No, her latent abilities, that's built into her very, being, was switched on, and it makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah,
I mean, the fact that she was able to then go toe to toe with him in a saber fight the next, not literally the next day, but not long after.
But actually, about that. Not only that, but actually he had been shot by Chewbacca's crossbow blaster. And do you remember what that did to, like, stormtroopers when Chewbacca was using it earlier in the movie?
Sent him flying.
Exactly. And he got hit with that crossbow blaster. So he was pretty messed up when he was fighting. So that's why they had a chance. Honestly, if it was just 1v1 and... Yeah, if he was 1v1 and it was like he was 100% or at least even 90%, he probably would have wrecked him. But you saw him even throughout the fight. He's like hitting himself, like trying to get himself to get that adrenaline moving so that he can keep on going.
So he is. Yep.
So, that's one thing that somebody pointed out to me, and I'm like, because I thought the same thing before. I was like, why is this happening? Like, how can these two be fighting supposedly a I don't want to say a Sith master, but like a very strong Force wielder, in Ben Solo. And then they're like, oh yeah, he was wounded. And I'm like, that's actually a good point.
No, that makes sense now. Yeah, I had not considered that. And yet, sure enough, you see him beating down on the, it's the top of his leg, isn't it?
I think it was his side, actually, wasn't it? I thought he got hit in the side.
You just see him
maybe I'd have to go back and look
with his fist. Yeah, no, okay, that makes a lot of sense now. That does make a lot of sense. And the thing that really haunts me about that is that it's the first time you see Chewie get hit and you hear him cry in pain. You're like, oh. I mean, it's the very first time ever you see him. He's just lumbering through the first 3 movies. This big walking carpet thing. Never seems to get hit or even get dusty, and then suddenly in this film you see him take a hit and scream like, oh my god.
And they tried to kill him in the third. They tried to kill him in the third one, and then they backtracked on that super quick. Like, I remember watching that thinking when that happened, I'm like, oh my god, they killed Chewie. Oh my god. But then they backtracked it in like less than 5 minutes. And I was like, oh, you guys could have really rode with that. Even if you did have him survive. Like, you could have rode on that for a while.
Yeah. But yeah, could you imagine if they killed off Chewbacca, though? The uproar.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
And speaking of Chewie, I loved how they introduced him to Han in Solo. Yeah, honestly... That film gets so much hate, but I like
film. I liked Rogue One better of the anthology movies. Rogue One is
go-to
my
film now.
favorite Star Wars movie
Yep.
ever.
That is my go-to. If ever I fancied watching a bit of Star Wars, it'll be Rogue One every time.
Yeah, Brian Simpson says R2 came out the other day. That was just the director talking, like trolling people, saying that what they said that R2 was going to be a lesbian or something.
Well,
Excuse
actually,
me.
no, R2 has always been male, and
He
can't be
Yeah.
lesbian if you're male.
Yeah. R2 should be on brassieres. Have you seen that thing he whips out whenever they need to get into a terminal? I mean, come on.
Well,
R2's an alpha
Brian
male, baby.
Brian did give us a time check earlier, so we are 5 minutes over. I'm happy,
Yeah, I know.
but I think we really should just wind it up now. We are not
I know.
running. We are not running away from any circumspect CBS people. We are just over time. We should try and keep it to an hour. We're now at an hour 6 minutes, so I think we should wrap it up there.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up on Star Wars, on Trek After Dark.
Indeed, Trek After Dark wraps up on Star Wars. So my last lines are: I really don't have that much of a problem with the latest Star Wars stuff. Other than Boba Fett, that was a slow show.
Oh, Boba Fett was terrible. Obi-Wan Kenobi was pretty bad too. There were some good parts to it, but Boba Fett was bad.
Loved the boss fight in Kenobi.
Yeah, there was like one or two fights that were good, but they
Yeah.
really crapped the bed on a lot of things in that show.
They did. But not too bad. Me and my friend, we enjoyed watching them. So, And with that, thank you everybody for being in the chat and saying hello and contributing and giving us ideas of things to talk about. I will leave you on peace and long life.
Bye.
To which you say, come on, peace, long life. What is the answer to that?
Live long and perspire.
There you go. That's the. Right. Let's see if I can get this thing going. I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm going to try and do an outro video. This may not work, people, but if it does, it does. Have a good one.